Welcome back to Arkansas Bigfoot, everybody. Well, for the past couple of days, the bottom has completely fallen out of the sky and we've had a buttload of rain. Good news is that it makes the conditions almost perfect for trying to find fresh trackways and footprints and any other signs of movement out here in the woods. So I came out here this afternoon to walk around the border of the pond on this little dirt lane. We've got the pond off to my right through the brush, and then a clear cut where the power lines go through, and then woods on the opposite side of that clear cut. Rachel must have short-term memory because she left me alone to my own devices again, so here I go. Let's walk around and see if we can find anything. I have a suspicion that they moved through that big grassy clear cut area back and forth from one woods to another, and I'm trying to see if I can find any type of prints or trackway or anything that might be running back and forth through that. If they take the path of least resistance when they're not feeling pressured or anything, then you would think that on this little mud road that there might be something. And we've got all kinds of trails weaving in and out of that brush. Right on the other side of that tree in the middle of the screen is the back edge of the pond. And when I was talking about Bigfoot throwing rocks across there, I caught those sounds on video that night. The only place I could think of that had rocks around here that they could even be picking up to throw was off of this pile right here. His old pieces of broke up rock and asphalt and concrete and just stuff to fill in mud holes with. But there's a pretty good trail running right to the edge of the pond, right there. And that would be what I thought was the location they were coming from. You would think with all that hard rain that they would probably held up tight somewhere, but who knows. I'm definitely never going to claim to be an expert on any of this. I'm just learning as I go along like most everybody else. So there's another trail running up to the pond there. We've rarely ever come back to this side. We've got a open mode area that we can fish from and do our thing. In that video where we had hung the glow sticks up, we were trying to move a little closer because I kept seeing something move back and forth, and we got a little too close. You could hear grumble, growl, and I told Rachel to stop and hold still, and about that same moment or two after that, a limb came flying out toward us, and of course that spooked us, and we backed up and got out of there because we weren't sure what might happen. But I think if they had intended to do any type of real damage, we probably would have had the entire tree get thrown at us. Who knows? Probably just saying back off and leave me alone. So far, I'm not seeing any kind of tracks crossing the mud, not even something as small as a raccoon. At least you guys get to see what the back side of the woods looks like. We usually are always down in the middle of it. And all of this over here is 5 to 8 foot tall brush. I was hoping this spot right up here might show something. It's an old four-wheeler lane running back to the point of the pond. maybe whenever these heavy rains come in like this, they might go back off into the other side of the woods, up those hills. I don't know. This is a lot more flat over here on this side of it. What made me want to look over here was this is the side of the woods we found that blue blanket drug out to. If you can see it in the distance laying over there on the ground, that blue blanket. Oh, nothing has changed with it. It's just like we found it the other day. Well, I haven't looked at these trees or these nests since we've had all that rain, so let's walk on around and check those out and see if we see anything different about anything. Dead quiet back here again right now. At least it makes for a little quieter walking through here. So there's the nest. I don't know if this shows up on camera or not, but it is really, really hard packed flat down in the bottom of it there. And you can kind of smell that musty. Skunk Island's right there across the creek from me. And there's the gifting tree. Let's look in there. We had left stuff in it when we were back the last time. I'm pretty sure it's got to be gone by now. Well, I know in that video that Rachel had stacked that rock on top of the other. Those two rocks had been behind me in that nest, and then they got carried over to the tree. And when we left the tree the last time, she had been over and picked the one rock up and stacked it on top of the other. Now it's down. Everything is cleared out. That's that piece of paper that she had left that she had drawn a little figure on, and it's just disintegrated. Looking to see if there's any more hair. I can't tell. I put my hat on and left my glasses in the truck, so. I'm deciding whether to go on the right side of the creek or cross the creek and go up through that pine thicket. I don't know if that shows up for you guys to see it, but you can see a path running from the right to the left and out through there. That may have been during all that heavy rain, because it looks like it's kind of washed out now. But we're going to be trying some different things here in the near future. I had one suggestion to get a couple of little cheap plastic harmonicas or something like that and toot on one and leave the other in one of these gifting trees, and then see if we hear it being played back in the woods. I don't know if that'll do anything, but it's worth a shot. We tried the glow sticks and we tried the wind chimes and left that little sandbox down here to see if any kind of handprints or anything showed up in it. And another person suggested playing a certain type of hertz music tuned at a certain hertz to see if that might create any kind of reaction or curiosity or anything. I'll have to look that up again and see if I can find some to use, and we'll try it. Another thing I'd like to do for you guys is do some kind of a giveaway here in the near future. If we could get to the 200 subscriber mark, I'll think of something kind of cool that you might like, and we'll just pull a name out of the hat and it looks like the creek had gotten pretty big down here. There's that first gifting tree, and you can tell that the water had been completely all up and around it. Looking on the ground here around it to see if I see anything. Well, it's cleaned out, and we figured that would happen. I don't really see any kind of print or track. I can tell this water's been all the way up to here. It's washed out all through that. But maybe we'll give away a pair of the dowsing rods or something cool to just haven't decided yet, but I'm thinking if we can get up to 200, we'll pull a name out of a hat and do a giveaway. Well, I was really hoping I'd come across some bright and shiny fresh new footprints or trackway or something, but So far, all I'm seeing is where the water's rushed through here and wiped everything clean, but they may be up on higher ground right now. I started to say I haven't gotten into too much trouble on this trip by myself today, but I'm not out of the woods yet, so guess I shouldn't go banging on the drum and bragging about it. Well, there's one there, finally. Now there's two there. Three. Yep. Alright, so how do we get three? And where did it go? That's one of the things that I'll probably never understand, is how you'll see 2 or 3 or half a dozen prints in a row and no place where they came from and no place where they went to. And I need my glasses on. Let me zoom this in, guys. I don't know what I'm seeing up there. I just see something dark and about the right size, so could be anything. Alright, let's go on. Well, it wouldn't matter how quiet the ground was today, the crows are giving me away. They've been screaming ever since I walked back here. Let me hear some of your ideas of different things to try, and if we can do it, we'll gladly attempt it. I appreciate everybody coming along, and if you haven't done it already, hit the subscribe, the like, and the share, and I think it's time for a meat snack and a cup of coffee. We'll catch you later.